It's the Cardinals and the Vikings, and it comes your way next.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we've got a solid matchup in store. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota's new coaching staff really leaned on Cousins for leadership and production, and the longtime vet was up to the pressure. 29 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and a 13-win season, his best as a starter. Captain Kirk, he's quietly been one of the league's most productive passers the last few seasons.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Madison running on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a throw here, hauled in. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2. Going to run with Madison again. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Cousins on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Working with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And the step will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line as this game gets started.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. C.J. Ham taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroller. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense set to take over for the first time, and they are piloted by their fifth-year quarterback, two-time Pro Bowler as well, Kyler Murray.
He and Arizona came together on a hefty contract extension before last season, but injuries, well, they caused everyone to take a step backwards last year. But when healthy, Kyler Murray, still a big play waiting to happen on every snap.
Murray now on first down. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, that's certainly not the start that they envisioned, Charles. You give up the long touchdown drive, and there, an interception on their first play from scrimmage.
Brandon, I wonder if the mindset was simply it's a long touchdown drive. Their defense might be a little relaxed and feel like, hey, we're in good shape now having 7 in hand. Maybe they just thought, let's take the shot at them right now. Instead, it went against them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give to Madison. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On play action, Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Short pass tip, but caught anyway. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Cousins. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old-school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. From the gun, Murray. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Dean Lowry. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. This offense returns to the fold along with running back Alexander Madison. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated. Because you know,
it's caught inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Cousins fakes a jet sweep, and off play action, he wants to throw it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Joseph on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was T.J. Hockenson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. So the completion good for 6 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And just nowhere to go for Connor. Defense gets to him, and they mark him short. After that play, we're going to get a pause here, an injured player, and that's the tight end, Zach Ertz, in some discomfort. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And on 4th brought down on as the punt team sending this one away. On the return is Powell. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Alexander Madison leading this Vikings offense out there to begin the next drive. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Going on the ground with Madison. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. Cousins now. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. B.J. Ojulari getting in there and dropping him. That's a step in the right direction. Here, because you're facing this sizable deficit, they're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
Yeah, not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Anywhere close to the markers, they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Powell on the return. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Cousins to throw it. This one caught it. Atkinson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Off the play fake, Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The kick by Joseph is good, and the route is on. It's 24. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. A final shot before half from Murray. And his throw is incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. The slot man in motion right. On 1st and 10 is counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head. So
better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down by a good couple of yards as they end up getting 6 there on 4th and 4. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Here's Madison. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Play fake, Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Madison diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Joseph now to have the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. And more, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Murray. This will be caught once again by Brown. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Shotgun now for Murray. Touchdown! Michael Wilson. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cardinals are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. He has his target. It's Addison. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it with Madison, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Another carry now for Madison. And he'll be well short of a first down as he's stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. Throwing on first down is Murray. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Murray, one final try. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's
down in the